My name is Karel Bitter. I work for a couple of companies, mostly freelance. I'm here on behalf of the Start of the Web. We are a government content strategy consulting business out of the Netherlands. I would say there's a whole bunch, but one of the things that really helps is actually understanding what the more technical people are working on, what they're dealing with. Things change so fast that if you're not aware of the more intricate details of what's going on, it may be very difficult to support the team that you're working with. I think if you're leading the team, your most important thing is to support the people you're working for and to have their back. And if you want to have their back, you have to understand what it is that they're doing.
Hi, my name's Carl Serrin. I work for Invika. I'm the test manager based up in Liverpool. Communication is key, verbally and written as well, because with digital teams, we do communicate like so over Skype, email, and sometimes the guys who are our manager aren't in the office. So it's really important that you strike the right message and how you perceive your communication and how it's going out to your members of staff. I think as well, leadership and setting goals. We mentioned about the GROW model in the earlier talk, and I think it's just nice to see, is to speak to your staff and obviously try and get them to look into try and set some kind of goals on a monthly or 6 monthly basis, which helps them to achieve basically what they've set out in their appraisal.
My name is Rob Hinchcliffe. I guess I'm a social and community kind of consultant. I used to work for an agency called Think. I'm working right now for a music startup called Rushmore.fm. Yeah, that's about it. And I kind of work with communities and social. That's really what I do. I think knowing what people do, it sounds really weird, but there's a lot of, even if you work in, like I used to work in a digital agency, so there are a lot of different factors within the agency, you know, in terms of what are people doing, and a lot of times you can be blind to how they work and why they work and what they're doing. And I think knowing what people do, and if you're not managing them directly, if you're going to be working with them in a room trying to come up with ideas or working out how you're going to implement somebody else's ideas, it's essentially you know how they do their job and why they do it that way. And I think getting to that place is a good start for anybody.
I'm Mary Williams. I'm a director of a small consultancy called Chrome Rose, and I'm actually about to become CTO of a startup that will be announced fairly soon. And I've done many things. I used to be a developer and an architect, but these days I lead big technical or digital teams. I think there's not one set of skills. That it's about knowing your team and figuring out what they need. And so sometimes that's direction, sometimes that's helping them to understand what the kind of overall purpose is of what you're doing. But it's usually not micromanaging. So it's usually not telling them exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Because if you hire the people who need that kind of direction, you're probably doing that wrong. That's probably your fundamental problem, rather than giving them that day-to-day direction. So I think that the key skill of somebody who leads teams really well is creating a space for those people to be brilliant. And there's lots of different ways to do that, but if that's what you aim to do, then you tend to get better results out of those folks than if you aim to micromanage them.
I'm Gabriel Smyth, and I work for Sparkle, who are a video software company just outside Bristol, and my role is online communications and content strategy. Well, I wonder if some of the challenges are actually to do with just the normal stuff of working with people, and somehow digital feels kind of new and different, and the technology moves very quickly, and yet it's actually remembering to come back to, which is what Dare Conference is all about, come back to traditional kind of people skills, really, communication, listening, communicating clearly, that kind of stuff. So I mean that springs to mind.
Source LF are London's leading creative communications and media recruitment agency. Be sure to like our video and subscribe to this channel. Take the moment to watch another of our videos on screen now.